So we're going to do some services on some Polarises. So these are 2015 model 570 Polaris Aces. They're one-seaters, kind of like a go-kart on steroids, four-wheel drive. These two give you a little background on them. The woman wanted one really bad. She had talked about it for a few years on wanting one, and I wanted to get her one for her birthday. I think a couple years back, and ended up, I was looking for them, couldn't find any. Finally found two. Of course, you know, they were out there. I was finding them, but as soon as I'd go to look at them, they were sold. I'd call and go look, and they were sold. So ended up finding these two on Craigslist, and I thought it was a scam, and because of how cheap they were. So I picked these two up. The asking price on them was $9,000 for the pair. I gave 72 or 7,300 bucks for the pair. These things didn't have a whole lot of hours on them. The guy was selling them. I ended up buying them out of Kentucky, out of Louisa. The guy that sold them to me, it was him and his boy. They had them. They bought them brand new. They rode. Well, the boy graduated and was going to college, and decided that they were going to sell these and just use the money for college, put toward college. So I went down and checked them out, and I personally did not want one. I was skeptical on them, didn't want it, but the woman wanted one, so we went down. I actually took her down with me, made her ride it, you know, kind of spoiled it. You know, I bought them a couple weeks early, kind of spoiled it for her birthday, but we had them. Made her ride it, made sure she liked it, and I ended up wheeling and dealing on both of them. The guy wanted to sell them both together, so I ended up buying both of them. Yes, I did get titles for them. All that's free and clear. I even got tags for them too. I've already registered and tagged them. But I tell you what, these little boogers are fun. Rolling, you know, you could roll these things kind of easily because you can't throw your weight around like you can on a four-wheeler on a side of a hill or whatever. But all in all, shooting through the woods in these things, it's just a blast. So I ended up putting both windshields on, the small windshields. That helps with deflecting the air out of your face on cold nights. Believe it or not, I mean, just that little bit really helps. I bought both tops. You know, when you buy two of these, you got to buy two of everything. You know, if you buy it for one, you got to buy it for the other. So I bought two tops, and I also bought two of these storage bags and they're actually Polaris, so they're good. They're good ones. Bought two of those, and I also put two rear view mirrors on them right there. Other than that, the woman bought the camo bags. She bought me one too. It's right there. But yeah, these things are a blast. So we haven't rode them very much this year because we've been pretty busy. You know, that one's got a flat. This one has two flats. It's been a real hectic year on being able to get out and doing some leisure stuff. So for us anyway. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get these up and going, get the tires aired up. I bought new batteries for both of them, gel batteries, and we're going to do oil changes on both, and probably get it greased, you know, get them both greased up, and you know, check all the other fluids, and just get them back to the way they need to be. So that way, if we want to jump on them and go for a ride, we can. So that's what we're going to do. So on these front ones, I'll run about 7-8 pounds of pressure. And on the backs, I'll run them at 10. doesn't take much. All right, got the tires all aired up. So now the next thing is to change the batteries and do an oil change on these. To do that, the battery is actually underneath the seat here. So I'm going to remove this seat plus that seat. We're just going to do them both together. Have to take a couple screws out of the plastic here to get to the battery. So we'll take this off and we'll access the battery compartment and get it changed out. And then we'll change the oil. All right, got the battery out of one. So this battery here, I actually replaced this battery when we first got the units on both of them. I bought 2 X-side batteries from the Royal King. You know, they're basically just lawnmower batteries, because we wanted to go riding shortly after we bought the machines, and that was the only thing available. Polaris didn't have any. So this battery's junk, same way within the other one, but this battery here is junk. It is a serviceable battery, which means when you buy them, you have to fill them up with acid and charge them. The Polaris battery, they have both ways. They have a serviceable and a non-serviceable. I wanted the sealed non-serviceable battery. It's a better battery. It's a gel battery, and it's completely sealed. It's already charged up when you get it, so this will be much better for the trails as far as all the bumping around and vibration and stuff that happens. So much better battery. Granted, it is a little bit more money, and I've got one for this Ace and for the other Ace also. So we'll go ahead and get this one installed and move on to the next one. So to do an oil change, got the battery in. So to do an oil change on this, you have to remove this back panel. Since the seat's out, we'll go ahead and remove it. And what else you gotta remove? Well, you remove the back panel. You're able to get a funnel here. Your filter's here on the other side. So we'll move the camera and get you over there, and we'll go ahead and drain the oil out of this and get this one ready to go. Okay, I just started draining the oil. It is a T40 bit, Torx bit, on the 2015 Polaris Ace 570. So it is a Torx bit, just in case anybody was wondering. It's not an Allen head or anything like that. So you definitely need to clean the threads out. So let's try to get this oil filter off. Might have to grab a filter wrench. We'll see. Oh, it's turning. Okay, so whenever I do the services on these Aces or my Polaris Ranger or anything like, that entails special fluids, I always go to the dealer. There it is, Polaris. This kit was $36. You can buy these kits at the dealer or, probably online, whatever. But you buy it for what it is. Ace 570, Ranger, Razor 570, the twin. Come on, focus. There it is. The twin 600, 700, 800. This is 5W50 oil. And these kits, they come with exactly what the machine takes. This is... these Aces, they take 2 quarts of oil and an oil filter. And that's what the kit entails. So for 36 bucks, I do it once a year. These things aren't, typically you do them every 100 hours or whatever, but these things don't get 100 hours a year on them. So I just go through and I do it once a year. That way it's done. Peace of mind. Some people, may wait to the 100 hours, but I don't. I just knock it out. So, once a year is better than trying to keep track of quite a bit of machinery, because this, I have 2 Aces. There's a light tower, my mini excavator. There's a Polaris Ranger. I have a 4-wheeler on the other side. I have a John Deere Gator that we replaced with the Ranger. The Gator went down. We may do a video on that later on. I've got a boat, tractor. I've got quite a few pieces of equipment. So, you know, when it comes to this, I know the Aces are done for the year. You know, I'll do the Ranger, you know, the mini excavator's coming up on service real soon. So we'll just go through and knock all kinds of services out all at once. Yeah, there's another light tower back there that I have. So, I mean, there's quite a few pieces of equipment here. So, yeah, typically, you know, on this stuff, once a year. My mini excavator, that will be hourly. You know, the heavy equipment will be hourly, my tractor, stuff like that. But the stuff that doesn't get used all that much, like the Aces, the Rangers, you know, basically the toys, they'll get done once a year. So I've just done one. I'm going to knock the oil change out on this one, get it done, swap the battery out on it, and probably get everything greased up and, you know, ready to ride. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm just going to go ahead and knock out the oil change on this one real quick off camera, and put the battery in off camera. It's the same steps that I just took on the other one. So once that's done, we'll do a quick grease job on both of them, and that'll be good. All right, just got them all greased up. The grease gun that I'm using is a battery operated grease gun. It's one on the cheaper side, but it is kind of pricey. This is from Tractor Supply. I've had it for about 2 years now. If I remember right, I think the price was either 100 or 125 bucks. If you do maintenance and do your own maintenance and do the greasing, that grease gun is much appreciated. So I got both of these units greased up already. The oil's changed in them, and I've done checked the transmission fluid. Both of those are good to go. I've got the batteries in. These things are ready to fire up and ready to ride, actually. So I'm going to end the video with that. But yep. Maybe another video that I do will be out riding these things. So we'll see. Thanks for watching.